Hey folks, how y'all doing? Trent Clark here with Mallet Buildings. We got a little show for you today. Let's get started. Okay, as every day, we like to start out with our $500 discount to military personnel, healthcare workers, educators, and first responders. If you're out there looking for a building, make sure you get this discount, folks. We're giving away money, okay? And if you're looking for the best building in the industry, a Signature or Elite, if you type in cash, you get $1,000 off those buildings. Let's talk about some specials. Well, let's get to the referral. Remember, if get a $200 check every buying customer you send our way. Okay, our buildings are very popular. If you have a building, or if you know anybody in the market for a post frame building, send them our way, and we'll pay you $200. Okay. Okay. Value building specials. Here we go. You got a 30 by 30 by 12 for $21,999. That's $24.45 a square foot. In these packages on the value building, you get one 10 by 10 roll-up door, one walk-through door, 36-inch walk-through door, concrete slab including 4,000 PSI. Our competitors are doing 3,000 and less. I'm sure of it. Okay. 4-year workmanship warranty. 130 mile an hour wind rating, 26 gauge metal, folks. Most people in our business on a value building is going to give you 29 gauge metal. What's the difference? 26 gauge metal is much stronger than 29 gauge metal. Don't let the numbers fool you, okay? Concrete under every hole. Scissor truss are standard on these specials. A cable retention system. Something we developed years back, okay? So that's a 30 by 30 by 12, $21,999, $24.45 a square foot, okay? 30 by 50 by 12, $29,999, $19.99 a square foot, folks. It's a good deal. Value building, 40 by 60 by 12, $41,999. That's $17.50 a square foot, okay? Our signature building, if you want to notch above the value, okay, you're going to get 2 by 8 scissor truss. Our value comes 2 by 6s. Some of our competitors use 2 by 6s with 2 by 4s inner webbing. Our values are 2 by 6s throughout the whole truss, okay? On the signature series, though, you're going to get a 2 by 8 scissor truss. You're going to get 5-on-12 roof pitch, okay? You're going to get roof and wall insulation, 2 10 by 10 roll-up doors, a 6-year workmanship warranty, folks. You know, you get the Zack screws, engineered cable retention system, 4x4 frame of windows and doors come standard on all our buildings, and concrete on every post, just like on the value building. Now, if you want the Elite, nobody does this building in the United States, folks. Why? Because we're going to give you 145 mile an hour wind rating on this building. How can we do that? We give 9-foot post spacing. We're tightening that up, which means more wood, more truss. We're doing 3-foot truss spacing, okay? That's going to be a 2 by 8 scissor truss, okay? You still get the 5-on-12 roof pitch, 2 roll-up doors, roof and wall insulation, gutters and gutter brushes. That's a big value we throw in on this building for you folks. 6-inch, not 4-inch, 6-inch, 4,000 PSI microfiber. We put microfiber in that concrete, okay? That's 33% stronger than, 3,000, okay? And is 1.5 times stronger than 4-inch concrete. Post protectors, okay? Insulated windows, continuous ridge vents. I'm going to show you some ridge vents here coming up so you can understand what that is. Wainscoting. Wainscoting is a look. It's kind of a two-tone look on the building. It costs more, we give it to you on the elite building, okay? And like I said earlier, it's 145 mile an hour wind rating. All right, now let's talk about some red flags, folks. If you're shopping for a building, doesn't it make sense to understand, you know, you can go on the Secretary of State, all this information that we provide you, we're trying to educate you, our potential customer, that, you know, understand who you're doing business with. You know, we want you to come see our facility, but let's talk about the red flags. Years in business. How many years in business have they been? Does it make sense that somebody can offer you try to match our warranty, like say on a elite building for 10-year workmanship warranty? Does it make sense to you that these people might only be in business for 1 year? How can they offer a 10-year workmanship? Do you know that you're going to be around? To me, that's a red flag. How many years in business have they been? Now, granted, I understand there's a lot of people out there that say, well, you got to start sometime. You do. I agree with you. I agree with those people out there that's saying, well, they got to start somewhere. Well, that's fine, but do you want to be the guinea pig in that situation, or do you want to wait and see how the longevity of that company? Why not do business with somebody like us at Mallett Buildings? We've been in business for 26 years, got thousands and thousands of buildings on the ground, okay? Red flag number one. Red flag number two, folks, license. Doesn't it make sense to have the proper license to even conduct business? Number one, does he have a business license to conduct business in Louisiana? Is that the only license that he needs? No. He needs to have a contractor's license. Why is that important? Because if the people that you're shopping with is not responsible enough to get the proper license to do business, how can they be responsible enough to build you a building that you're going to have in your yard for years to come? I don't think that, it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so make sure they have the proper licensure, folks. Do they have, and if they do have a contractor's license, do they have any violations? Okay, how many violations do they have? You know, check all this stuff out, and we point out all this where you can go and look for it. Doesn't it make sense if you're going to spend $30, $40, $50, $60, $100,000 with somebody that you give your money to the right people? Well, it makes sense to me. So make sure that they don't have many violations. You can check that out at the LSLBC website, which we provided many a times. Reviews on Google or the BBB. We have plenty of reviews, folks. Doesn't it make sense to read some of those reviews? I mean, if you're shopping at Amazon, you're probably reading some reviews there. Doesn't it make sense that if you're spending this much kind of money, you read some reviews? If they don't have any reviews, that might be a red flag, okay? So, the last one, visit the contractor's facility. Visit the people's facility that you are potentially going to spend money with, folks. To me, it don't make sense if they don't have a location or a facility or you know, just somewhere where you can sit down and conduct business. Office, even a little office is better than anything. So that's a red flag, folks. Make sure you know who you're doing business with, the bottom line, okay? And we provide you all the information. Secretary of State, LSLBC for these two. Google reviews are plentiful. And then do they have a facility? Okay, it's simple, folks. If they don't have one of those, then I would say that's a red flag and you need to keep shopping. All right? So here we are again. You know, at first I was like, man, what's going on here? But here's the thing, folks. I didn't ask for this. Anthony challenged me. He didn't show up, so here we are. He works at Southern Style Barnes. I don't even know what's their name, Southern Style Barnes, okay? And he didn't show up, and he challenged me. So I'm not egging this on. I'm just pointing out that, you know, I was challenged. I accepted it 3 weeks in, and nobody showed up, and which is not uncommon for the boys at Southern Style because right here, if anyone sees someone with Southern Style Barns and Buildings, LLC, let me know. They need to retake the customer service course. So, folks, they probably didn't go through the red flags because I think they have violations and years in business sitting there. So if you're shopping, spend your money with somebody that's going to take care of you. I'm not standing up here saying that. I'm not staying up here saying that we are perfect, folks. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying to you is that if we make a mistake, which we might, we're human, we're going to go back and fix it until you're satisfied with it. That's just how it is here at Mallett Building. So if you're searching for a building, folks, there's no place better to come than here at Mallett Buildings. Come meet our staff, come meet our people, and I think what you'll see is what we're telling you is it's real. There's nothing fake about it. Now, let's talk about roof ventilation, different types of roof ventilation. Why is that important? Well, here we go, okay? How attic ventilation works. So you got the turbine style vent, the box vents, off ridge vents, and your gable style vent, okay? You do have some soffit vents, all right? And let's go through these, okay? Types of roof vents. Well, I just named them all, but I'll go through them one more time. Box exhaust vents, which they're not really ventilation. They're going to be hooked up to something like a fan in your bathroom, so we can X them out. Soffit vents, that's going to ventilate your building if you have soffit. Gable vents, roof turbines, off-ridge vents, continuous ridge vents. This is what we provide, continuous ridge vents. And I'll point out why. Okay, so your box vents, this is what I was talking about earlier. So this is really, I mean, I have seen somebody use these vents to try to get the heat out. But typically, these style vents are used for like your ventilation in your bathrooms. When you turn that fan on, the code requires a vent like this, so it's not just going up in your attic, it's coming outside your roof. So we can X these off. You won't really see a whole lot of these on post-frame construction, but you could if you deal with some of those people that have all them red flags. You could see some of this. You're not going to see it at Mallett, okay? So that is, so small in size, several units required for a building, can be damaged by weather, which it can. Plastic ones will need to be replaced eventually. All right, so that's the box exhaust vent. So now we got a soffit vent. Very rarely are you going to see a soffit vent on post-frame construction. Now, there is cases where if people want to spend the money, we can oversize their truss and we can give them a overhang. It does cost a substantial amount extra. Why? Because we got all this trim work we got to do on these. But we can do it if that's what the customer wants. So you have the soffit style vent. The problem with those are, let's look, see what we got. Limited ventilation, prone to leaking, can suck moisture into the building, requires regular cleaning. Well, the main problem with those is it's in a soffit, so your heat's going to rise. It's going to go to the peak point of the building trying to get out. It most of the time is going to pass those up. You will have some exhaust get out there, but it's not the best. It's low on the totem pole for me. So gable style vents can sometimes allow water into the building, uneven airflow since it's at the end of the building. Regular maintenance is required. Now, out of the ones that we've seen so far, my opinion, I think especially if you have a normal type structure where it's a gable all the way through, these don't work too bad. Out of the three we looked at, I think this one's going to be the best because that's the old style. You remember the old houses? They had these types of ventilation. It works, but as time goes on, we got better at it. You know, the world's got better at ventilation. Just like at Mallett, we continue to grow and get better at doing what we do. All right, so let's look. So that's the gable type vents. So now you got the roof turbines. These actually work quite well. You're not going to see them often on post frame construction. You're going to see them more on residential homes. They actually move a lot of exhaust out, okay? So, but the problem with it is it can damage very easily. These things are the number one, when wind comes, this is gone, okay? And then you got a hole in your roof where the water's coming in, all right? Not aesthetically pleasing. You know, as you can see, this one's not that old and it starts to rust, all right? Moving parts can rust. So you got bearings in there, all right? And if it's not adjusted right, it's not going to turn right, you know? So it does work well. It will lift a lot of the exhaust, the heat out of your building. You're not going to see it on post frame as much, more on residential. You're not going to see it here at Mallet for sure, okay? So that's the turbine style. Now you got the off-ridge vents. A lot of times you might see this on some red iron buildings. They kind of use something similar to this. You won't see this much on post frame, but minimum visibility, energy efficient, low maintenance, low chance of moisture entering, but they don't really work that well. I mean, it's like a 4-foot section of one part of your house, so it can't get a lot of air out or heat out, okay? So the continuous ridge vent, okay? Superior option, I'm gonna explain why. Stretch the entire length of the building, allows a maximum ventilation, consistent airflow, standard. This is standard on the elite building. Here's where it's at. You see this ridge cap right here? All the way down this building, tucked away up underneath here is, I'm gonna see it, might have it, well, he didn't put it in there, but we showed it before. It's a little bitty thing that goes all the way over here to let that air flow. So as that hot air rises, it's gonna get out of this building all throughout this whole peak. And hot air goes to the highest point, so it's going to go to that peak. So it's exactly where it needs to be. This is superior. You're going to see this mostly on post frame, folks. This is what we do standard on the elite building. It's an option on our value and our signature series, and I recommend it unless you're going to spray foam. I highly recommend this. That hot air's got to go somewhere, and you need to have that continuous ridge vent. So I hope I educated you a little bit about ventilation. If you have any more questions, call our building specialist. Be glad to help you. Apples to apples, we talk about this every day, folks. Why do we talk about it? Let's see. Because we want you to use our spec sheets. We want you to bring that quote to us. We'll beat it by $1,000, apples to apples. But here's what we're finding out. It's not going to be apples to apples. Why? Because people don't do what we do here at Mallet. They're not going to do the stuff that we do. We want you to take our spec sheet to somebody that you're shopping with, make them live up to the standards that you need. You need all treated lumber in your building. Have you seen the termites? Wait a couple more months. We're going to see them coming. You need that all treated lumber, MCA treated lumber, dry killed lumber. We spell that out in our spec sheet, folks. We want you to take that and whoever you're shopping with, make them check this off and sign it. That way, if you do go with them, and hopefully they don't have any red flag, but if you do go with them, they better put what they said they were going to put. We will, okay? So use our spec sheets. Let's go over the specials one more time. Value building, 30 by 30 by 12, $21,999, $24.45 a square foot. 30 by 50 by 12, $29,999, $19.99 a square foot, folks. You got a 40 by 60 by 12, $41,999, $17.50 a square foot. The bigger the building, if you notice, the better square foot price we can get you, okay? That's our show today. We appreciate your business. We'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mallet Buildings, your trusted partner in post-frame construction. We are proud to offer you the highest quality structures, custom designed to meet your needs. Our team of experts is dedicated to providing superior craftsmanship, backed by years of experience and a commitment to excellence. Please take a moment to explore our innovative design options, competitive pricing, and unmatched customer service. Thank you for choosing Mallet Buildings, where we build stronger together.